Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. If you've already listened to the podcast, you would have heard Gavin's birthday. 27 years old, young Jedi in training is what we did for his birthday. And he got to earn his birthday presents. And if you want to see it, you can see it. Betty Rock has posted it on our Facebook and our Instagram. Just search Wally Show. And you were taking pictures of me giving him one of his presents and stuff. Did you post that stuff as well?
Not yet, but I am going to, because it's a great opportunity to just put a different idea of what you are.
Here's the thing. We talk about on the show, we actually talked about what it's like as a guy to be judged. And I feel very judged for trying to be kind to another guy.
At the end of the day, I very much, and by the way, I don't know if we said that Wally made me a ring.
Yes.
He made me a beautiful handmade ring.
And I got down on one knee and handed it to him. That was where I think I crossed the line.
Yeah. But I accepted it joyfully. And I do like it, though. Like, it's pretty sick. I'm impressed by the handmade quality. It looks like something you could pay.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
What?
I'm looking forward to that conversation that Gavin's going to have with a friend or his dad.
My dad. I see my dad tonight.
I like that thumb ring. Where'd you get it? Well, my male boss made it for me.
See, again, but this is the problem, Rock, because you are casting dispersions where it's like, hey, you know what? Marines give each other jewelry, too.
Do they?
They do. Like, pins and stuff.
Okay. They made for each other? Or are you saying
they sacrifice their lives for someone? Yes.
Yeah,
that
get
doesn't
jewelry.
count.
Or are you saying that they get it via their service and then a guy pins it on them?
Exactly. Okay. And so
that's what this was.
It's very similar.
It's not the same.
Very similar. That's like that time that Brandon Heath years ago was like, it's kind of like being in the military, being a Christian artist on the road. And we're like, wait, what? He's like, I mean, I'm gone a lot. I'm like, yeah, but people aren't shooting at you. So that's a very similar analogy. So anyway, Betty Rock will post all that stuff and make fun of us. But yeah, I feel judged for, because I heard him. He said he wanted that.
The fact that you remember.
Here's the thing,
Thank
too.
you. I remembered.
Yes.
Listen to
we
you.
had that conversation.
There is nothing on my face right now that is judging you. I am just sitting here and listening to you. But if you feel like you have to justify your actions, that says something in itself.
You have a judgy face. That's what it says.
Don't.
You do.
Well, then I look like I'm judging all the time.
You do.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Judgy face. All right.
No. So, feeling insecure.
Man, this was an interesting thing. You remember Gabby Petito, that case?
Yes.
Betty Rock, you have to. You just looked up like you don't remember this.
I was trying to remember
Little
because
Gabby?
I've seen so many cases.
That's true.
Was she the girl
she's the one that went in the camper and her boyfriend killed
Brian
her.
Landry. And he killed her. Then he later died. He hid for a while in the swamps. And then he later took his life. And he admitted in a note that he had taken her life.
Which was, I mean, at least he did that.
Yeah. He like, good move, sir. At least he let the family know.
He didn't leave any kind of mystery.
This is about the family now. They actually are suing for $50 million. And you would think they were suing Brian Laundrie's family because they knew something. Like, that case was so weird. Like, we can't find him. No one can find him. Search parties. And then the family eventually was like, hey, why don't you look over here? And we found him at random, you know? And so it's like they knew something. So I figured they'd be suing them for withholding, information. But they're actually suing the police department of Moab, Utah, because they stopped them that one time. There was a call that came in about domestic violence.
I saw the body cam footage.
Yeah.
They were at a gas station, Gabby and Brian, and they got in a physical altercation, something to where she was hitting him because she got mad about something, and he locked her out of the camper, and she was banging on the windows trying to get in, but he was claiming that he was trying to help her cool down. So someone at the gas station saw this, called 911, and then police tracked them down on the road, pulled them over, and then there was body cam footage of Gabby just crying, saying, and she was taking the responsibility for it.
Yeah, she says, I hit him first.
Yeah, she said she started the fight, and they kind of separated each other for a while, and then they got back in the camper and left.
Yeah, so they're suing the police, saying that she'd be alive today had they taken the threat seriously and intervened, and it was obviously domestic violence, and it's like, boy, this is a tough one because you've got this girl going, it was my fault. But then you're like, well, are you trained to know that an abuse victim might say that, and stuff? And, I think their thing was like, look, separate and, cool down. Because that happens all the time in domestic violence. They're like, look, do you have a place you can go? Go there for the night, and everybody calm down. And then no one goes to jail that night.
I think that they, like the body cam footage, I think they even said, is there a way that y'all can spend some time apart or whatever? But at some point, they're adults and they have to make their own decisions.
Yeah, like he says, Gabby's mother says, we feel the need to bring justice of what she could have been protected that day. There are laws in place to protect victim, and those laws were not followed, and we don't want this to happen to anybody else. The city attorneys, say the Petito's attorneys suggest that somehow our officers could see into the future based on a single interaction, and no one could have predicted the tragedy that would occur again weeks later, hundreds of miles away. So it wasn't like, I think you could maybe make that case of if she had been murdered that afternoon, you go, wow, maybe you should have. But it's like, wait a minute, like she is an adult, and if she was in an abusive thing, she does need to get out of that, and then she continued to go with him. She wasn't being held against her will. And I'm not blaming the victim. I got to be very careful there because someone goes, you're blaming the victim. I'm not blaming the victim, but I'm saying that I don't think this lawsuit has the merit, and again, it's not going to bring you closure.
Well, and also too, if the cops had, let's say now on, they come to a similar situation later in the future, and they're like, well, because what happened with the Gabby Petito thing, let's separate them. Well, there could be where a family now sues because you separated them. Like, there's no winning. And I think, honestly, I've never been in that situation, thankfully, but you want to blame someone for the loss of a family member. You want to blame someone. And so I could see where that they could say, let's blame the police. But honestly, they're just doing their job. And where is the line between where they need to step in and where you need to be an adult and make a decision?
Right. I don't know. It's the thing I've always argued is that we have just eliminated personal responsibility for anything in our society in this day and age. And it's always somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's problem. It's like, no, there are things you have to, be aware of. And and it's sad as it is, if it was a truly abusive relationship for years, you stayed in that, and you've got to take some responsibility and extricate yourself from that. And I know, again, if you've ever been through domestic violence and abuse, you go, well, you don't understand. You haven't been through it, and you can't just easily leave that way. I do understand this. My cousin went through this, and she stayed way longer and went back, and then finally extricated herself. But she had to do it herself. No one could do it for her, And so this isn't a blame the victim thing at all, but it is a take responsibility. And again, I feel bad for the parents because they, like you said, they're trying to get closure somehow. And but it is interesting, like under the auspices of, we don't want this to happen to anybody else. And so the only way you send a message is by giant lawsuits, which you benefit from to the tune of $50 million.
Yeah. How do you guys know how they end up like getting to that number? Because that seems like an insane amount of money.
I think that's the reason. I think a lot of times they make the number so huge because it's to get into the press, and so that people will cover it. And if they were suing them for, $500,000, it wouldn't make the news.
No.
But if it's $50 million, you go, oh, okay. So I think that's it. And it's also the deep pockets theory. You go after the people that can pay that, and they know they're not going to get it. Like they know that's not going to happen.
Right.
But they might.
You can always go lower. You can't go higher.
Right. And they might hit a jury that, if it does come to trial, like the city of Utah of Moab said they are going to vehemently fight this. But if it goes to trial, sometimes you hit a sympathetic jury and all of a sudden, it's not 50, but it's 30.
Well, and also too, I don't know if they would have to find a jury that doesn't know anything about Gabby Petito, and that would be kind of difficult to find.
Yeah, I think they've changed a little bit of that when they're asking jury questions. It used to be you had to live under a rock and you had to have no knowledge of the case. And now what they do is they ask you, okay, do you have knowledge of the case? Yes, I do. I've seen it on TV. And then they follow that up with, are you able to make an impartial decision even knowing what you know, and render a verdict. And so that's kind of how they sidestep it now. Because you can't, I mean, back in the day, it's easy to, a case, you wouldn't even know that happened down the street unless you happen to read a newspaper, And now, I mean, you can't miss anything, because if you have a phone or a TV. So there you go. Just an update on that. Lady Rock, what do you got?
I have some news about King Charles.
Ooh, now you love yourself some royals.
I do. So there is a new biography coming out November 8th. It's called The King, The Life of Charles III. So I'm reading this article, and it's giving some tea about what we can expect if we read it. So there is a former trusted valet who speaks into this biography.
Now, what a valet is, you want to explain that for people?
No, go ahead.
Okay, valets are rich people's servants, and they take care of the day-to-day things for rich people, and they do everything, kind of like a personal assistant, but like way more. Like they do everything.
And that was the case for King Charles III's valet. So I guess King Charles has always had a childhood teddy bear. He's had it since he was a baby, and he has kept it through adulthood. Okay.
I'd love to see him in jammies holding that thing, sucking his thumb. That'd be so
Good night, King.
Well, this former trusted valet claims that he was in charge of caring for the stuffed animal, even to when Charles was in his 40s, and that if the toy needed mending, there was the royal's former nanny. Her name is Mabel Anderson. She was brought out of retirement to make the necessary repairs to the teddy bear, because she was the only one that King Charles would trust him with.
That's so funny.
The retired nanny was the only human being allowed to take needle and thread to the teddy bear. Every time that teddy needed to be repaired, you would think it was his own child having major surgery. That is what Anderson writes, which is the
valet?
Nanny.
Oh, the nanny. Okay.
Also, some other interesting situations. So the valet, he was in charge of squeezing toothpaste onto the monogram toothbrush of the king. Also shaving his face, helping him put on his pants.
What?
And,
no.
At what age?
Lacing up his shoes.
See, how? What? At what point in your life, like you grow up as a royal, so all of this is normal to you? Like you have no concept of normality. Like at what point do you go, hey Jeeves, don't worry about it. I'll put my toothbrush on my own toothpaste.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you're so wealthy, everything is laid out for you, and you just, because you're so busy or something?
No, they addressed this topic in an episode of Downton Abbey.
Oh, thank you.
Where Matthew, he came from a life where he could take care of himself and he didn't need a valet.
Right.
But they brought it up to Matthew's attention that your valet, that is his income. That is how he makes a living. So let him do it.
Yeah, I would.
So,
I would literally be like, dude, I'm gonna pay you, but don't do this. Like, don't put my toothpaste on my toothbrush. You can hang out with me. I would not.
Yes, you would.
No, I would not.
Yes, you would.
Okay, I probably get used to it. Like, I think that's what it is. I think you get used to it and it becomes normal. Like to you, like
you
at first,
think everybody does it, but they don't.
To think you're supposed to be served like that on that level is not normal. I know, but it's not normal.
Some other interesting tea that was spilt was that one of the staffers, he says that for someone who said he was bullied as a child, Prince Charles clearly enjoyed bullying us.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
That he didn't think twice about shouting insults at you if you did something wrong.
Really?
Another former valet, his name is Ken. He was there for many years. He's in charge of hand washing the prince's underwear and tucking him into bed with his beloved Teddy.
No.
Again, what was the timeline on how old is he when this is happening?
They don't say, but they refer to him as Prince. So it could have been, they said that he kept the Teddy with him till his 40s.
Wow.
Then they claim he has a really bad temper, that at one point he accidentally lost some of his cufflinks down a bathroom sink, that he was at a friend's house. It wasn't even his, but he was at a friend's house, lost the cufflinks in that bathroom sink. He pulled the sink off the wall, then smashed it to look for these cufflinks. And when he didn't find them, The valet claims that he grabbed him by the throat.
Oh, wow.
Another situation
Seems
was once
appropriate.
he was he was at a friend's house. He wanted some fresh air, but he was unable to open the windows, so he picked up a chair and smashed one of the windows to open it, and he wasn't satisfied, so he smashed another one.
That makes sense.
And then the valet said, "You have to understand, the prince is accustomed to getting what he wants,
right?
And he wanted some fresh air." Now, one more thing.
Can I just say this? When you're that rich, you know, like you go, oh, well, I'm just busting out a window. What's the big deal? I'll fix it. Like, I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it.
It's the same thing as opening a window.
Yeah, exactly.
To them, it is.
Exactly.
Charles had very specific, Prince Charles, now King Charles, has very specific requirements when it comes to his breakfast. This is how he wants it.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
He wants a breakfast tray that has to contain a cup and saucer to the right with a silver spoon pointing outward at an angle of 5 o'clock.
Oh, for the love.
Butter must come in 3 balls and be chilled.
No, you don't want it chilled because it's harder to spread. But I guess if you have a butter spreader.
The royal toast is always in a silver rack and never on a plate. Assorted jams, jellies, marmalades, and honey are served on a separate silver tray.
I don't know if I believe that he himself like found out that that's exactly how he wanted everything.
Right.
There must have been like a time when he was just given it in that format.
And it became that.
And then that's all he was expected to receive for breakfast.
I could see that. Like somebody is like, okay, now you know the spoon has to, like the other Jeeves captain, not Jeeves Jr., is like, now you know the spoon has to be at a 5-degree angle. Okay, I'll do that.
And it's 3 chilled balls of butter.
But I can't understand being served on that level. I mean, I'm happy when Chick-fil-A treats me great. You know,
it's their pleasure.
Yeah, but like, can you imagine? Because celebrities have this too. Celebrities have the valets or personal assistants that do everything for them and get them ready to go. I mean, like what's his stupid face? Ryan Seacrest. Like, because he works a lot of jobs. He works hard, and so he doesn't have to do a lot of stuff. People do things for him, so they can just shuffle him from place to place, and he can stick his little face out there for people to just love. And so it's like, I can't even imagine service on that level. I look at Betty Rock sometimes. If I'm busy, I'm like editing and stuff like that, and I'm over here working. I'm like, hey, I know I don't want to be a problem.
No.
Is there there? Yeah. That's exactly it. But Gavin, I can be like, Gavin, I don't want to do this, but could you grab me a drink real quick? I'm editing. Yes, yeah, not a problem. I'll get it for you, man.
My pleasure, sir.
Anything else?
Please don't hit me.
I live to serve both of you guys.
Please don't hit me. Oh, so good. All right. Well, with that, let's move into some birthdays, which of course is Gavin. Happy birthday from all of us to you. Which was the birthday we party to?
Hey.
Thanks, guys.
Richard is celebrating a birthday today.
Richard?
No, Richard is wanting Haley to celebrate a birthday, saying she's a beautiful lady that loves to dance. He did say check your email for an explanation about the date, but Wally checked his email and we're not seeing anything. So Richard, I apologize, but happy birthday, Haley.
I'm having like email problems that's driving me nuts. So like if you've emailed me and I didn't get back to you, it's either you said something dumb or no.
That's definitely
I'm having problems. I'm not getting all my emails, so I'm sorry.
And then lastly, Megan and Michelle wanted to wish Matt a happy belated birthday. His birthday was actually yesterday. He's the hottest coach in the NFL.
Oh.
Matt LaFleur? LaFleur?
That's correct.
Gavin's like, I concur.
Which part is correct? I pronounced his name right?
Well, yes, you did, but he's the hottest coach in football. Yeah, he's pretty young.
How old is he?
Probably like 30. Oh, man.
Who does he coach for?
The Green Bay Packers. I'd be guessing he's 38.
Okay.
So Betty's like confirming that Gavin has good taste in men.
Well done. Nice pick.
I want to see if I was right about his age.
He is 43.
Okay, good.
Oh, wow. He looks like he's in his 30s now.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Wait, he's married. Dang it.
Once again, if I said anything like that, it'd be like, you're so creepy. You're so creepy.
You're married.
Well, no, even if I was single, you'd be like, oh, you're a pig.
They would say that.
Yeah, but women, again, double standards.
I don't know about that.
Women can get away with
anyways,
things.
Megan and Michelle have a question. What is your ideal Sunday afternoon?
Oh, easy. Football.
Oh, really?
For just like the cliche guy that I am when it comes to Sundays, it's that. Any other time of the year, it's Haley and I getting home, making lunch,
right,
and then putting on, because we just don't watch a ton of TV during the week these days. That's us catching up on like YouTube channels that we like and a show that we haven't watched in a while.
Okay. Yeah, I don't watch football. I wish I did, but I don't.
I wish you did too.
I wish I did.
I do. I wish I was manly enough for football. No,
we're not judging you for that, though. Based on what we've learned today, we don't judge you on not liking football.
Thank you. We do like really long lunches after church with our friends, Paul and Rhonda, the guy that runs Shower Up. Like we've known them for years, and so we all go to church together, and then we go to lunch. And our lunches will be 2 hours a lot of times. Yeah, so we'll hang out, and just talk. And
but y'all go to the 9:00 service.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're at the place wherever we're going. We're out there. We go 9:30 service, and we are there whatever the place is, like as they're opening the doors. Like Shake Shack, I like to get the first burger of the day. And one day I'm like, oh, I'm so mad at my wife. So we pull in and I'm like, we're here early. This is good. I'm going to go ahead and like walk up by the door. She's like, oh, that's it. Don't, let's just sit here for a minute. There's no one here. I'm like, I feel myself getting antsy because I'm like, if I'm here this early and I'm first, I don't want to wait. And sure enough, I see a guy or a lady get out of her SUV. I'm like, we should go now. And so I get out of the car and I could have beaten this lady to the door, but my wife is dawdling. I'm like, walk faster, please. So the lady gets there like kind of at the same time. So I've got to hold the door for her and be a gentleman. And then son of a gun, it's like a clown car SUV. Like 47 kids roll out of this thing. 3 more adults. You're like, oh no.
It's the church youth group.
It's what it felt like. And then they don't know how to do the mobile order app. And so it just took forever. I was like, dadgummit, man. Listen to me next time, woman. Like, let's get out of here. Let's do this. I hate waiting. I am Prince Charles, I'm finding out.
I would never want anyone to serve me. I want the first burger of the day.
It's like a goal.
I'm going to break your window with a chair if I don't get.
Starting to figure out that maybe I was born to be a king, actually.
No.
I have the entitlement.
Heaven help us. Amen to that. My ideal Sunday afternoon would involve, let me paint a picture for you. There's a drizzle of rain outside.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's overcast. I have a Bath & Body Works candle that I love burning. I have both cats right beside me, purring on a soft blanket. I have a bag of chips, brand new, that I just opened.
Nice.
Yeah, not the crumbs.
Nice. And then I have a brand new episode, never before seen, of Dateline.
Yeah.
Ready to go. And Keith Morrison is hosting it.
Nice. That's a good day for you.
That is a great day.
There's a whole Sunday afternoon there.
It seems like it'd only be about an hour of your day.
It is, but then I'll take a nap.
Yeah.
That's the other 8.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Well, with that is going to do it for your Aftercast.
As always, thanks for being a potty and have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
And,
we just defined Sundays for
ourselves. Weekend plans.
Quickly.
All right, Betty Rock.
What am I doing?
Are you doing the Keith Morrison Dateline?
I hope.
You have no plans for tonight?
No.
Friends and card games?
No.
Family members?
I may go
Nicole
see my
in
parents.
town?
Catfish Cafe?
I may go see my parents. We'll see. I'll just see how it goes,
Okay. Just free form.
It's fun not to have anything to do sometimes.
I know. I'm kind of in that boat. Like I've been working on a project, my deck thing, and I'm just still stymied because I can't do things until other things have to happen from other people.
Yeah.
And they're not happening, and it's driving me
nuts. They're not happening as quickly as I would like.
No, it's been too long.
Jeeves!
And so I could actually, I could actually accomplish this. I have the time. My wife is gone. Like she's gone this weekend.
First burger.
No, but my wife is gone, so I can actually get stuff done, and like I could do things, but I can't, and so I'm still going to put up the Christmas tree for her.
Oh, that's right.
This weekend, so I'll do that. So
nice.
Anyway, and then Sunday, she will still be gone.
Well, are you going to go to church if she's gone?
You're looking at a guy that is enjoying church online on Sunday.
Nice. Bagel church.
Yep.
I get it.
I will get up. I will do the 8:30 service, especially if some of the things come through and I can work on my house, and I'll do the 8:30 service online. I'll have bagels and worship and write a Monday school, and then I got the rest of the day.
It's a whole day right there.
It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow.
I need it not to rain.
It says 90% chance.
Dadgummit, man. So now even God is against me.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, okay.
Gavin?
Flying to Illinois today.
That's right.
Going back to my alma mater with my parents and a bunch of college friends to see a football game. And then coming home on Sunday. And that's it.
Are you taking a leave of absence from Haley?
Oh, yeah.
So she's staying home.
Sounded. Yes. We originally really wanted to get her out there for. We were going to drive and do all this stuff, but she still works on Sunday mornings as the interim kids director. And so we have taken a lot of Sundays off for trips this year. And so it just gets harder to take those days off, harder for her to put people in place instead of her just being there for things. And so and then they didn't announce the actual game time for this football game. If it was early in the day, we were going to be good, but they announced it as like a 2:30 game. And so it's like 2:30 to 5.
Who's your team playing?
We are the University of Illinois. And we are playing the Michigan State University.
Oh, you're playing Michigan State?
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, are you the Fighting Illini?
We are, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then you're playing Michigan State, the Wolverines?
The Spartans, actually.
Spartans.
Michigan is just the Wolverines.
Oh, Michigan.
There's Michigan and Michigan State.
Okay, yeah, I get those confused. I just know that Ohio hates them all.
Yes, they're better than them all.
Yeah. Well, good. Have fun with that. And now, officially,
we're done.
We're done.